And some of them relatives there were the relatives of a sitting ambassador that was slain in the course of his duty in service of his country. Those people, Ambassador Stevens' family, they're not like so much just victims. They were giving up. They were making a sacrifice themselves. They gave their children. These people gave their husbands and their father to their country.
Their brothers and sisters.
And the men who more or less send them to these places
couldn't be bothered to be in the same room with them.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
And the president's worried that perhaps his party's going to have to shoulder some unnecessary burden for some of these hard votes they've had to cast.
So, now that we've brought everybody to this spot, we've griped and we've complained.
Don't lose hope, though, because there is something that can be done.
Well, the dang thing is, there's always more than one thing that can be done. And now I'm not going to be talking about calling your congressman, although do it.
Yeah.
You directly elect those folks. Your voice does matter. We wouldn't be where we are when it comes to some of the Republicans standing up against gun control and some Democrats standing up against gun control if the voice of the people didn't make any difference, because those folks that voted against the president's gun control agenda, they certainly knew what would happen if they didn't. They got called. People called them and told them that you won't have a job next term if you don't, get some act right.
But it doesn't just have to be on major issues like that.
Nope. It can be on everyday things.
It should be on everyday things. It should be on every issue that comes before the House or the Senate.
But we've talked about that before. Everybody knows where we stand on becoming publicly active when it comes to talking to your elected folks.
Right.
But what can they do without going through those same federally elected folks? What the heck can they do? There is an answer to that. There's a good answer to that, actually. Marty earlier in the show had talked about how he was listening to all these different conservative talk shows this morning. I listened to them too, not today, but I listen to Glenn Beck every chance I get. I listen to Mark Levin. I listen to Rush.
And it's not always easy.
I listen to Dana Lesh. I listen to Tammy Bruce. I don't always get to catch these people when they're on. I have a show of my own to do.
Right.
But
it's good to get other people's perspective.
Yes, it is, because you know what? See, Marty and I, we don't have all the answers.
No, we have a lot of questions, though.
Yeah, but we don't have all the answers. We've never attempted to compete against anybody else that's conservative that's in radio or television. Competition with these folks is something that is so not interested. We're not interested in that at all, because it's not this is not the time for that.
No,
our country's not safe enough for us to be.
Well, and it's not competition when you're doing the same thing.
Yes,
or when you're trying to achieve the same goals.
We prefer to think that we are adding our voices to theirs in the call for bringing our country back to where we know that it should be,
and trying to provide honest answers to the questions that we have,
and see
to other people that have similar questions.
With that in mind, when it comes down to proposing an answer for what do we do without that doesn't involve going to my state senator and telling him well, you should keep that up. But Mark Levin has written a book called The Liberty Amendments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I bought it. I'm still reading it. I haven't finished it yet. Because frankly, this book is so there's so much power contained in it for the citizen.
Right.
Okay, but he's not proposing the answer in this. He's proposing an answer. What he does, he starts off breaking down exactly how our rights as citizens have shrunk, and how the rights and privileges of the government have expanded and expanded and expanded. Because, see, this is a zero-sum game. Okay? If the government has all the rights, we don't have any.
That's right.
Okay? Every right that we have is one that the government does not have. And so this is a zero-sum game. Right now, government is winning. Not only is government winning, government has won. We're going to have to replay the game in order to get back to where we are. And Mark Levin has put out an answer, a way to accomplish this without violence and bloodshed.
Which is
having the states convene, and the Constitution allows for this, to have the states
redress of the Constitution?
To make changes to the Constitution without federal approval. If 2/3 of the states want it, we can have it. Well, and he's not proposing abolishing the Constitution in this book.
Well,
he's proposing reclaiming it, because his point is every single branch of the federal government violates the Constitution at will. The executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch.
Yeah.
Congress has been doing it with their huge umbrella interpretation of the Commerce Clause as authorizing anything they think they ought to be able to do.
Yeah.
The president has executive orders, which there's nothing in the Constitution about those. The Supreme Court has...
oh, man. Don't even get me started on judicial activism.
Have gotten it very, very wrong. Did you know that the states can actually overturn that? That's in...
Pardon me?
Uh-huh. Yes, if all the states got together and said, that ain't going to happen. Convention.
That ain't going to happen.
But what can happen?
And see, oddly enough, I would believe, if you look at an electoral map, all right, we talked about this the other day.
We're 13 cities.
President Obama was elected by 13 cities.
Dense population.
I don't believe those 13 cities make up 1/3 of the states.
But see, I'm not here to... look, I want you to go out and buy Mark Levin's book. It's well researched. He writes very clearly. Anybody can understand what he writes in there.
But still, though, that is an intriguing idea.
He lays out a process by which the states constitutionally can change the government. Okay? Without doing a mother may I to the federal Congress or the executive branch or the judicial branch.
But see, now look, man, here's the problem that the average person would have with that. It looks like it is a very intimidating prospect. It seems like it's almost insurmountable, that it's this huge thing. But let me give you let me show you people where there's hope. In Colorado, just this year, their state legislature created all these really obtuse gun laws, making it almost impossible to be a gun owner in that state. And Colorado it's blue.
Well, actually it's purple, but the blue is in the major cities, which is where the population centers are, which is where the state's politics are determined.
And the people, a couple of people were very dissatisfied with that, and they were Democrats.
Two guys, I think, or no, might have been about six guys.
Either way,
got together and said,
"These are individuals, individuals that went, well, God, what can we do?"
Not a single one of them was an elected official.
They all believed in their heart and soul that one person. What am I going to be able to do? And it started out with one of them just writing a blog about it, And another one read it and went, well, hey, I feel the same way. Maybe we can do something about it. And then somebody had another idea. And eventually, in a very short amount of time, they were able to get a recall.
And to win 2 recall votes for the people.
Had the people that, that they held responsible for getting that legislation put through, they were able to have them removed, man.
So, average folks. Ordinary folks that had day jobs.
Looks like you can't do it. It's just too much. It's too big of a task.
It's not too much. Getting somebody recalled and unelected once they're already elected, whoo! You think that's an uphill climb. They did it, and
in a very short time.
And nobody got shot over it?
Nope.
There wasn't no bloodshed. Now, there's some tears. There's some tears.
Our rights may be eroding.
But we can get them back.
The ones that we still have give us a lot of power. A lot.
A lot of power.
The average person still has a lot of pull in this country. And the neat thing is that when you're sitting there thinking, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. Who said you got to do it alone?
Mm-hmm.
The people there in Colorado, when they were thinking, well, I can't do this by myself, they looked around and realized, well, gosh, I don't have to do this by myself.
And see, if you think, well, my state will go for it, but I don't know about all these others. You won't. Your state won't be by itself either.
And you'll never know.
See, we got the interwebs.
You'll never know till you take that first step, though.
And we've got the internet now. We have better ways of keeping in touch with each other, and better ways and ways that our founding fathers didn't have to get things going.
So don't think that you're in this by yourself. Don't lose hope. There are ideas out there.
Yeah. If you want some hope, read the Liberty Amendments, and you will see that things are laid out. There are also unknowns, because Mark Levin says bad things could happen out of this. I don't think he believes that bad things will happen, though, because he's not talking about violence. He's talking about people voting for some stupid crap.
Right.
Okay. And he's like, if everybody votes for stupid crap, then stupid crap is what you get. But guess what? We've already voted for stupid crap. We've got it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, now there's a chance. And there's always been this chance. So the thing is, but nobody, look, the federal government is going to tell you that this is how you do these things. They're not going to come out and say, okay, let's, we'll help y'all take power away from us. But Mark Levin wrote out a nice little roadmap.
Well, he's not the only one. I mean, that's not your only source of comfort, man. You just go look up some U.S. history. Look up the history of the American Revolution. There's hope there. That's one big, humongous story of average men that did something extraordinary.
Now, I will tell you, though, there is one thing that's necessary to all of this. And that's when you're looking around for other people who feel the way you do and to help you, let's not get too picky about everybody's ideology, because there's also been quite enough of that. Thank you very much. Yep. I think it's better if we, like Marty and I do with these other conservative talk show hosts, we look at them and we think, rather than trying to pick apart and find out where we disagree with these folks, we listen to what they say and go, you know what, I like that, I like that, I like that. We concentrate on what we agree on. I think that people can get together, and if people do that, that's where the power lies. Not in the areas of where we're divided, folks, but in the areas where we're united. That's where we're going to find our strengths. And that's why I got hope, because there's a lot of that, actually.
If Glenn Beck and Mark Levin can put aside radio broadcast ego and rivalry
and ratings
and come together and say, wait, we're trying to get to the same place. Why don't we help each other get there? Man, I'm telling you, much can be accomplished. Don't lose hope, and don't think your vote doesn't matter. Your vote is the greatest weapon you got in this country. And hey, We've got nothing but time.